Yeah, beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Stay positive, hope, and keep faith. Stand strong against any odds that you face. Put away the alcohol and the drugs. Fill your time with the things you love. Addiction is tough, but it's worth the work. Treat your body what it's worth. Spread positivity, inspire all. If we stand together, we will never fall. I help others see the other sides of life. A sober life, letting go of the strife. So give me a call, I can help. 1-844-4405-HELP. Homeless shelters, hospitals, jails, wherever you are. I am Ralf Friedrichs and I am here for you. 1-844-405-HELP. Yeah, change your future, starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you. Let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. You start trying to lift the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid is preventing you from opening the lid. You'd start banging on the lid to hopefully unsettle the dirt, so maybe somebody will start digging their way down towards you. This is what it's like to feel at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. You just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind that maybe, just maybe when you were abusing drugs and alcohol, that you would take your own life by overdosing? And if that's not selfish enough, what about the people that count on you and need you and love you most? People like your children, your grandchildren, your mother, your father, your husband, your wife. With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be like the person that I'm reading about from these index cards that waited and waited and waited until it was too late. Instead, give me a call at 844-405 and help. That's 844-405-HELP. And I promise you, I will help you take back your life. Otherwise, your life might be gone. People like Larry Geis from the Geis Academy at 516-458-2741, www.odysseyconsultant.org. Larry Geis and I always tell folks like you, it doesn't matter where you've been, it doesn't matter where you came from. What matters most is that you're here and you're looking for help now. Give him a call at 516-458-2741. Go to www.odysseyconsultant.org. Larry Geis from the Geis Academy. He will help take your life back. How to get high and feel on top of the world without alcohol and drugs. That's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get right into it. Many societies' favorite psychoactive compounds, both legal and illegal, work by hijacking our neurotransmitters and brain receptor sites. In other words, they aren't creating something out of the nothing, nor are they necessarily imposing an alien influence. They only work because our brains are set up to get high and feel the pleasure. Why does pleasure exist, you might ask? Pleasure is the carrot dangling by the body to get us to do the things we need to survive and prosper. It helps us reach important survival goals, but we're not ascetics. Experiencing and appreciating pleasure as its own entity is necessary for true happiness and life contentment. Our genes expect us to feel good, not just to do the tasks, and feeling good compels us to complete the tasks. So today, I'm going to tell you how to get high and hit these pleasure centers. Primal style. If that sounds like it involves a shaman, some cactus cutting, and monotonous chanting over a fire, I don't blame you if you don't want to listen. That's absolutely one way to get high. It's probably similar to how the Grok did it, but this isn't a recipe for just singing Kumbaya. It's a review of how you can get high without using drugs, without using alcohol. It is just a simple facts on how to get high. So let's go right into it. This is an exercise now. It's popularly known as the runner's high, but you don't have to run to feel high from the exercise. The best-known mother of all natural highs can have you skimming the clouds. Its soaring yet soothing effects are some of the reasons I stuck with endurance training for so long, despite the other negative effects it was having. The latest research indicates that the high is probably mediated by two endogenous chemicals, beta-endorphin and endogenous opioid, involved in pain reduction and relaxation, and endorphin and endocannabinoid responsible for pain reduction and euphoria. The exercise high probably influenced human evolution, helping promote the highly active lifestyle necessary to dominate the environment. When the going get tough, like the saber-toothed tiger was right on their heels, or when they were chasing down dinner, euphoria and pain reduction would have been invaluable. Studies indicate that it takes about an hour of endurance training for beta endorphins to release, whereas short-term anaerobic training produces significant levels of opiate. The more intense, the better. Another study, an accurate bout of Olympic weightlifting caused elevations in beta endorphins. This was low-volume resistance training, no more than 10 or 15 seconds of actual work, but the intensity was high enough to provoke the exercise high. Overall, its high-intensity aerobic work was produces the biggest endorphin rush. As for endocannabinoids, intensity is the key there also. Group workouts also is very effective. Just as exercise itself, it can spare a euphoric state. Exercising with others may offer a different and arguably a better high. One study found that rowers' pain thresholds were greater after training as a team than after working out alone. Since pain sensitivity is a marker of endorphin release, the group workouts produced more of a high. In another study, players engaged in a high-pressure soccer shootout enjoyed bursts of oxytocin, the love hormone, after celebrating. Not only that, but the oxytocin surges were contagious across teammates, bringing them closer to each other and strengthening bonds. But I want to tell you, as a Marine, anytime we did group workouts, whether it was painful or not, it always was more effective. The more our ancestors enjoyed working together, the better their chances of surviving became. This may be the CrossFit. This may be why CrossFit is so popular, and it's one of the more reasons to take up Ultimate Frisbee, my personal favorite, of course. Join that basketball league or convince a buddy to do some sprint competitions. Check back tomorrow for more group workouts when you get a chance tomorrow. Just go to Google and find out. Then you have the extreme sports. Whether it's bungee jumping, mountain climbing, snowboarding, cliff hanging, skydiving, or base jumping, some of us flock to extreme workouts or sports like moths to a flame. The appeal is obvious. If you don't personally subscribe to it, extreme sports place the body in remarkable, stressful situations. And it's such a high, believe me. I've been sky jumping. I've been bungee jumping. It's physical exercise, yes, but it's also mental exercise. When you're leaping from a cliff or a plane, your lizard brain thinks you're very well, probably might die. The result is a rush of powerful hormones, including adrenodorphin, the beta endorphins, which correlate closely with reports of euphoria. Your heart works harder and faster, sending more blood more quickly into the muscles as well as to the brain. Your senses are heightened. Time slows down. Moments linger longer than ever before. It's a stop-gap mechanism to help you survive that situation. Even if you're not mindfulness practitioner, extreme sports will force you to savor the moment. Dangerous situations, perceived or real, tend to have that effect on people. There's an afterglow too. After the hormonal explosion has abated and you're back on solid ground after jumping out of that plane, you'll feel calm and accomplished and carefree, and you can't wait to tell everybody what you've done. Stress melts away and stays away. Because what can compare with flinging oneself off a mountain or out of a plane? It certainly gives you the rush that you could not even imagine. You hear talk of adrenaline junkies, as if snowboarders and base jumpers and free climbers are a little bit more healthy meth addicts, and I think that's the wrong way to describe what we're doing out there. What we are drawn to is intense, hyper-real focus and awareness that our body produces a response to incredible insanity in this situation. It's not about the risk itself as much as testing the skill against a very immediate, potent backdrop of survival. You are somehow never as in touch with life as you are when you're walking on the edge of it. When you're standing on the edge of that plane, you're looking down about 8,000 feet down, and you see everything so small. That is living on the edge. That is a high. Was that what is that Bon Jovi lyric? It should have been. And I'm telling you, it is unbelievable. And then, of course, you can go with spicy food. That's another high. Think of the spiciest food you've ever eaten. I'm not talking about tapatio or Tabasco or chachula here. I mean the kind of hot that makes you anxious and queasy and regretful afterwards. The kind of spicy that would make even somebody that is used to it run for the nearest glass of water or ultra pasteurized skim milk to quell that burn. Maybe it was a lamb curry or Jamaican jerk sauce. Maybe you got caught up in the chili eating contest in Tijuana. Whatever it was, you never forget that and how it felt and what a high it was, because you wanted to take a fire hose to your insides and rinse yourself. And I bet you felt something else when you ate it. Not just did it heat your tongue, but it heated you to a point where it felt like a natural high, didn't you? I mean, it felt good. Although the more sensitive among us might have simply been scared for their life by the heat, others who have ventured deep into the hot terrain tell tales of much mellower afterwards effects, a uniquely pleasurable, calm feeling. Chili heads, as they're known, are experts in this spice-induced serenity. They've grown to love the heat from start to finish. There is no strong, incontrovertible evidence that eating hot food has psychoactive effects in humans to cause a natural high, but I'm telling you it does. Try it out. Though some animal evidence suggests that the main spicy component in peppers can release beta endorphins and adrenaline. It also has analgesic properties which may be mediated by activation of the central opioid system. Still, there's usually a psychological justification for odd human behavior and why humans would do that to get that high. If people are happily eating food that literally burns their mouths on the inside, there's a good chance there's something in it for them. I'm telling you that high. I suspect that the pain gives way to pleasure, and that cool pool of biochemical pleasure afterward is indeed the result of endorphin release. After the pain danger has dissipated, an intense calm prevails. I'm a believer. One morning, when I was over in Japan, I met a young backpacker staying at the same place where I was, which was at a local hotel. I was on leave from Okinawa, Japan. I was in a common area looking for coffee. He was dumping a sack of red powder into a small glass of water. He mixed it together and tossed it back, making a face reminiscent of teen trying cheap gin for the first time. You can imagine that one. Turns out he was taking shots of powdered Thai chills. Said it was better than coffee and offered me a shot. I accepted, of course, and it was about two teaspoons of powdered chili, about as hot as K9, not to be confused with chili powder, in a couple ounces of water. I took it, I shot it down, and probably made the same face he did, but it did wake me up. It may have been placebo through. I wasn't expecting much, but I swear I felt buzz, even not having alcohol, really calm yet energized for 1 or 2 hours after. I'm a long-time fan of spicy food and can take it pretty hot, so your mileage may vary. Exercise caution when eating this. And I will tell you another thing to give you a natural high is love. Falling in love is the ultimate high in most people's book. You're at times an utter, albeit blissful fool who's checked half his brain at the door of the pinnacle of confidence and contentment, skimming along life, undeterred by any burden or barrier. And damn, does it feel good. A review of studies demonstrates that no less than 12 different brain regions are activated by a cascade of chemicals like dopamine, adrenaline, vasopressin, serotonin, and oxytocin when we fall in love. Endorphins and PEA, the chocolate love drug, also play a big role in the neurochemistry of love. As a result, we feel happy and dopey, confused and excited, anxious and confident. We are a mess, basically, a hastily thrown together assortment of neurochemicals, all vying for agency. But you can't wipe that grin off your face when you're in the thick of it, can you? Love works. What you already settled down with someone? What if that heady blast of new love has long since passed? Value your relationship, nurture it, feed it, spoil your partner, act like it's early days all over again. Experience them in the fullest possible way. Recall those initial romantic days and do it all over again. Relish good memories, make new ones. In a couple of words, be present in today and don't worry about yesterday. And then you have nature, which helps give you a high. Most of us are divorced from our ancestral home, the natural outdoor environment, that living in the city and going where the cell towers don't reach feels like entering an altered state of consciousness, probably because our consciousness has changed. I know when I'm out there, whether it's at the secluded beach, deep in the redwoods, or alone in a snowy mountaintop, I feel different. I notice new things. My brain works better. I'm high on, by virtue of eliminating the extra sensory clutter of the city and the everyday things that go around me. And then, of course, sex. Having sex releases torrent of endogenes, drugs, hormones, and neurotransmitters. So expansive that Hunter S. Thompson and William Borrow would raise an eyebrow during arousal. Your body secretes the powerful stimulants adrenaline and noradrenaline. Your heart is racing, your blood pressure rises, all in the service of delivering extra blood to various important body parts. Upon climax, your bloodstream is treated to an antitoxin cocktail of prolactin or oxytocin, aka cuddle time. And then your levels of this love chocolate chemical peak of orgasm and dopamine care of primary reward system for all-around opiate-induced bliss feeling. During male ejaculation, the male's brain apparently lights up like a heroin user right after shooting up, indicating a major role for opiates. Neuroimaging studies on women during orgasm also revealed significant activation of the brain's pleasure center. One more thing, everyone focus on orgasms, but don't forget to savor the journey. Take your time with the foreplay and actual act of sex. You'll arrive eventually. No need to rush it. Music. We've all heard or performed music that is or has left us in goosebumps and chills. We're utterly stuck in our head, held by it, and entranced and touched in such deep way that we feel moved physically and spiritually. I always think of a concert Eric and I took in some years ago. A choral, and this was, we're talking about in the early 80s. Maybe, no, it was actually late 70s. Actually, it wasn't a concert we went to. We performed a concert in our shed, My Sharona by Devo. I think it was Devo. It was a performance that we put on a Super 8 video, and to this day, if I could just see, the hairs on my neck and arms would stand up. And it's an experience that I'll never forget. To me, this day, listening to the piece would make my day, because I remember the good time that we have. Science has confirmed that the existence of euphoric music induced chills. Researchers asked participants to choose music that gave them the chills each time they heard or played it. Then they allowed subjects to listening to the music while they monitored our brain. Music lifts us up, gives us a natural high. Depending on the music, you'll really get the chills, the hair will stand up, etc., etc., etc. Researchers have suggested that humans evolved by developing the ability to experience euphoria from the abstract of activities like music, sex, outdoors, etc. You get what I'm saying? We've discussed all that already. So, these are all natural highs that you can go with. And you don't need alcohol, you don't need drugs. What you need is excitement, you need some love, you need to dream a little bit. That I haven't told. Remember how you'd hang out at night with your friends looking up at the stars, just thinking and talking about how immense and crazy and possible everything could be. Remember when you were filled with wonder, dreaming as one still gets, just laying under those stars with your friends and saying, "Boy, I wish, imagine just trying to get to the moon. I wish I could get up there." Every night we enter a fantastical world of our own creation in our mind during our dreams. In this world, time is relative. We can live out our entire lifetime in the span of a single sleep cycle. We become artists, novelists, world builders, and storytellers that put Spielberg and George R.R. Martin and Salvador Dali to shame. And if we get to live and breathe and act in those words as they did, we would then be real dreamers, and dreaming does really work. What's going on here chemically, you might ask? Some researchers think that our brains release very small amount of dimethylamine, a powerful psychedelic compound during sleep. That certainly seems very plausible. And don't forget about humor and smile. Laughter is a funny thing. It's contagious. The very act of producing a muscular contractions responsible for laughter release beta endorphins, and smiling is good for the muscles. I'm talking about these muscles and muscles that you have built into your neck. Humor, go around and have a sense of humor, because a sense of humor always does help. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this. There are plenty of ways to get high. You don't need to constantly take drugs and alcohol. You don't need to take it at all. Just do some of the things that we just spoke about. I hope you enjoyed this segment. I hope you don't forget that a sober today makes a positive tomorrow. And please don't forget to reach out to God and pray and walk with God 24/7. I ask you, I beg you, because it only is beneficial for you. Take care.
Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. Will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. No prayer too small. God hears them
Yeah, change your future, starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today. The show is over, but your life starts today. Taking back your life's the only way. Keep faith, stay positive, push through. Take back your life, it starts with you. Alcohol and drugs can't control your life. Let go of the negative and the strife. Ralf Friedrichs is the man guiding your way. The show is over, but your life starts today. Call Ralf Friedrichs at 1-844-405-HELP. That's 1-844-405-HELP. We hope you love the show today and tune in next time. Take back your life, today's show with Ralf Friedrichs. Yeah.